G'day, freedom lovers. How are we today? And I've managed to get sound coming through from somewhere else. It's all falling apart here. I've left speakers running. There we go. Oh, another one coming in somewhere. Oh, better shut down a whole bunch of windows. Okay, cool. It was the Instagram. That's what was doing it, because it turns out that you can live stream to Instagram. And this is the first time I try that out. And since I had to log in to get a code, I forgot to turn that thing off. I didn't realize it was going to autoplay like that. So we solved the problem. Sorry for the hiccup to start with, but here we are again. How are we today? We got G'day from Francine. Hello, gorgeous. What a lovely thing to say. Aren't you beautiful? Thank you very much. G'day, Vapu. How are ya? We got going over on the Rumble world. Nobody's there in that Rumble world. We've got another Rumble world over here. Nobody's there yet. Oh, actually, we've got people watching, but nobody commenting. That's okay. You don't have to comment. Just grab a drink and enjoy, because this is kind of like the Christmas episode. I don't think I'm going to get another chance to speak to you before Christmas, but you never know. We'll see what happens. I am hoping to get away for the solstice with some of my Indigenous friends who have invited me around. So I'm just peering around the camera to check the dates. We're just going to have to play it by ear and see what happens. We might get another fail of the weekend on the 24th, although being the eve of Christmas, I don't know. Is anybody going to be bored enough to want to sit down and watch me have a yarn? Or I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll just play it by ear. If I am around Friday, Kate might be coming back. She's been really cool. And g'day, Sherry. Cherry, I think that's how you say it. Cherie, perhaps. I'm horrible with these things. I'm really sorry. Reading was never my strong point, as I say nearly every week. G'day, Jan. How you going? But I'd like to begin by giving a good thanks to all our wonderful Patreon members. They are so good, and they are growing in number, which is amazing to see. You can become one of these amazing people by following this link. It is also in the descriptions there. So thank you very much to Jeannie Zonta, to Lee D, Jennifer Williams, Gaza Peacock, Mark Howard, and our two newbies this week, Carla and Karina. Thank you very much for jumping in and becoming paid members on Patreon and jumping behind to see all the amazing free content that will continue to grow as time goes on, and I find time to do it. Things have been a bit busy as the whole Christmas thing leads up. I'm sure you're all aware. There have been some really cool contributions this week from various different places. You can always send me a line, NQ Freedom Network at protonmail.com if you've got a cool meme you want to share or a story. There's been a few things coming through. 45-minute videos are a bit hard. I appreciate them. I will get to them. I have a long list of things that long videos that people send me. If you do find something like that, so, hey, this is a cool talking point. Who was it that sent it to me? If I just quickly check my emails, Ronan. Ronan sent me a video. I just haven't had a chance to look at it, mate, but I do appreciate that you sent it. Maybe if people are going to send things that are 45 to an hour long, just say, hey, look, this is a great video, but focus on say time index 5 minutes to 9 minutes or whatever. That's the chunky bit. Just sort of help me out. So I can get to the point quicker, because I do have so much to work with, so much to get through. But I did find a cool video today that I thought everybody would get a good chuckle out of. But before we get to that, I'd just like to remind anybody around the Townsville area to come down to 12 Arrows and have a look at what we can do for you.
At 12 Arrows, you're learning coordination. You're obviously getting your fitness up. You're learning things that might get you out of a little bit of trouble one day. Most of all, you are building resilience within your own self. You're growing fortitude within your own mind. The I can after 10,000 I can'ts is the thing that you're after. If you're a little older, younger, maybe feel like you can't quite get into martial arts, this is probably the place for you. Everybody here is quite easygoing. If now you think is the time, come on down, give us a shot. But I don't just sell you anything, I sell you a product I believe in.
Not only is it a cool place to train, Ben is a really awesome dude. I met him through the Inner Light Meditation Center, another really cool place if you sort of want to find your spiritual center in some way. He was giving his breathwork instruction, which was really cool. And, it's something we add into the martial arts component down there too, which is something I've never seen in any of the martial arts I've trained in the past. If you've got a business of any sort, it doesn't even have to be a North Queensland business, and you like to sort of advertise on this space, and you have that small business thing going, you've got integrity and you're a freedom lover, just drop us a line again, hit up the email. I can create something for you. It doesn't have to be that kind of an ad, especially when we're in a long distance scenario. We can knock up things more of a cartoony nature. Like I've shown it many a times before, the renewable homes one. You've probably seen it before. But as politics is sort of starting to kick in too, politicians approach me and ask me to do some stuff for them around election time. But one of the problems is by the time they either find me or I find them or whatnot, we're weeks away from the ballot, and you haven't had a chance to utilize what I can do, because these things do take time. I'll give you a quick look at what I did for Troy Thompson, which was the original cartoons for One Nation before Pauline was doing it.
What is preference voting? When voting, it is important to remember you own your own preferences, not political parties. Where possible, take a black pen for polling day. Place a 1 in the box beside your most preferred candidate. This process should be completed for your second, third and fourth preferences until all boxes are numbered in order of your preferences. The person who receives your final preference should be the person you least want to win. Remember, do not make any other mark on your ballot paper, or your vote will likely not be counted. Counting a preference vote. The first step is checking each vote is formal by ensuring all the boxes are properly numbered on the ballot paper. Polling officials will then count first preferences by looking for the number 1 next to a candidate's name and allocating the vote to that candidate. Next, the candidate with the lowest number of first preferences is eliminated from the count. The second preferences of the eliminated candidate are distributed to the remaining candidates. Now the next candidate.
So anyway, you get the idea. It's a bit of a long one. If you do want to watch the whole thing and get a little bit more of an education of how preference voting works, just go over to Aussie Icon Productions at Facebook. It's the only place I've got a page going at the moment. I just haven't had a chance to build a website or the money to really afford one. But yeah, if you're an independent or a smaller party, I'm the dude to help you. I'm not really interested in helping the big parties any more than I'm interested in sort of, getting sports stars and things in. They're not the kind of people that really need help from the freedom movement, in my opinion. They've got all the help they need already. This is about the little guy. This is about the community. So if you're thinking about running, I've definitely helped some people in the past. Actually, there's some other cartoons I will bring in next time to show you too, of an amazing independent down in Victoria that employed my services during their last election. So yeah, if you're thinking of running in any way, shape or form, more than happy to support you, even give you a plug here on the show, just to let us know what you're about and why people should vote for you, because I'm all about a little guy. So have a look at some of these comments. Okay, Marla, Jan's here again. Tree, what was it? the second time I said it like 3 or 4 times. I can't remember now. Cherie, was it? Just a quick yes, it was Cherie. That'll be fine. I'm going to go with that one and hope for the best. G'day, Susan. Sue. Barpy saying hello again. Look at all these lovely, friendly people who come in to say hello and embark upon this amazing journey. I'll take the time to say to people at this point, pen and paper, you might want to take notes, because you get, at the end of this, you get to vote for who the fail of the week is this time. This is last week's failing. The New Zealand government failed, to keep the vaccine data under wraps, and it got out. And we'll get into that a little bit more, because there's been a few developments in a certain aspect there. I haven't had all the time I'd like to chase up absolutely everything. Delusion G'day, how you going? Delusion, I'm going to have to be a bit cruel to you and get you to jump over to Rumble or Facebook. Especially if you want to keep communicating, I recommend Facebook because, and I'll show you, we had a bit of an issue recently, and some of the things we're going to discuss here are no doubt going to get this to come up again. G'day, we're cutting your videos. All right, so we've got all sorts of weird things happening here. And if you want to see why that was cut at that time index 1356, you're going to have to go over to another channel because YouTube have taken that down. So for that reason, I'm really sorry, mate. I appreciate all the people over there on YouTube who are following the channel. And I don't want the channel to fall down because there is some cool stuff there that needs to be shared with the people still. On that note, we also had another issue, which if I can see if I can find where I put it, a little bit out of order. I got this come up from Facebook last week. And I'm not even sure what it was they took down. They didn't explain. And as you can see, it doesn't tell you, it just says, we removed your content. Doesn't tell me what it is. Probably because they've gotten so sick of people pointing out that gone blank there. Sorry. But anyway, maybe people have just used this too many times, taken a screenshot. That's what I was going with. And would just do this, show this. So perhaps that's why they're not telling you what it was they removed anymore, because it's getting too bad for Facebook, I guess. But yeah, how does it help me if I don't know what it is? So we can't show this content. Very helpful. Very helpful, and it says, see the rule, and I followed the rule. And again, it just gave me this big blanket of stuff, so let's have a look at some of these comments before I get a little bit more distracted. Where was I? Okay, so sorry. A few things going on here. PR guy joined. Okay. So PR guy, I believe you got a bit of a bad rap from places. So this will be interesting to see. Also, you're coming from X. So X is doing these things. So PR guy fact checker. That'll be an interesting one. We'll see how long that lasts for. You banned me from other places for pointing out you did zero research and were wrong. I have no idea what you're talking about. No accusation like that has ever been made. I think you're probably full of it. And I have a feeling you're probably not going to last long here, mate. Heavy stuff. YouTube needs to do more. We need more disco balls. Okay. Would it be from our comments to you? That's a good question. I don't know. It didn't seem like any of the videos have come down. So that's what I have to, maybe it was just one of the promo posters I put up, one of the comments I made saying, hey, come over and watch the video or something. That's the thing, like without being absolutely sure, I can only speculate. And that's where conspiracy theories come from. And they're all awful. We know that, don't we? Backfusion, I have a question. I'm growing a beard at the moment. How can I? Yeah, well, you're an idiot. You're gone. Righto. I can see it fine here. Cool. What's happened to me recently? 1 week ban, past violation with no explanation. Yeah, it's horrible. How are you supposed to learn if you don't know what it was you did? It's like you're issuing people a traffic infringement, but we're going to tell you what you did. It's nuts. Yeah, it is. Totally agree, mate. And Friday, you just disappeared in the end. Okay, so we had a hiccup on that. I believe it reconnected again at the end of Friday's show because I think you might find there's like a little piece missing. The full thing's on Rumble, and that's the advantage of having multiple channels, is that if something drops out in one place like it did on Friday, you can always switch over to one of the other channels and see if it's still running there. So there seemed to be some glitch with Facebook. I'm not sure why. I haven't had that happen before, but we did continue to stream, but we did wrap the show up as soon as that happened, because I'm like, okay, well, it was at 1 hour and 45. Maybe we've gone a bit long. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I did mean to mention that. And a post removed. Yeah, it's amazing. They're actually going back, They started doing that a while ago. I remember I used to do these things called Captain's Bog, which I thought was extremely amusing. I just write a story from the toilet, from the point of view of a Star Trek episode, And it was interesting. Lots of people would comment to me in the street and say, "Hey, you're that guy that does that. That's really funny." I'm like, "But nobody clicks like. Why don't you click like?" "Oh, I just don't do that." Well, guys, if you like the content, it lets me know that it works and people like it and it's funny. Sometimes I come up with stupid ideas like that and I think it's really funny. But, if I don't get a, acknowledgement or somebody saying that, well, how am I supposed to know? But anyway, somebody challenged me, "Why don't you just post a picture of a turd?" So me being me and having a couple of drinks at that particular point, and this was back in my Bogan Nation larrikin days, I did. And it lasted on Facebook for, I don't know, about a year and a half before somebody decided to bring it in. I wouldn't have a clue. Bosie and Guru fans edits. I'm kind of okay. I'm not really going to comment on Bosie and that. Look, they do their thing, and I don't particularly have a problem with them. Sometimes I think they might, perhaps be a little bit aggressive towards other people. We're all supposed to be working together. That'd probably be the only thing that I'd have a gripe about. I think, good on them. I'd love to sit down and have a chat with them actually and find out a little bit more about them. Righto. I don't know if he's going to make... Sorry, I don't know if he's going to... It's just the way you spelt that word there that's kind of throwing me off. Well, yeah. Isn't that what got him lost in the first place, was getting rid of the public servants? But at the end of the day, there's an excessive amount of public servants. So it's an interesting point. But we'll come to that in a little bit. Are the trolls on Rumble? Unfortunately, when you're trying to build a bridge, you're always going to find a troll underneath it. But I guess they enjoy living in dark, damp places. I don't know what it is. Maybe do they all reside in places like Melbourne? I find that's a dark, damp place a lot of the time. All right, because it's Christmas, I'm actually going to have a beer today. I hope you don't mind that you guys get to celebrate the Christmas cheer with me. I got my Santa shirt on. Who's Santa's favorite band? Would you venture a guess? It says Fisher's sobbing noises here. Okay. Gary thinks the cops are going to frame him for he has on his phone. I wouldn't have a clue, to be honest. I haven't actually looked at any of their stuff in a while. Just haven't had the time, Pick me for what? Yeah, well, you can't give the answer. You do know. You watch me put the shirt on. There's all the regulars stuff. I don't know. Maybe they're just, All right. Let's have a look. So anyway, let's get into this show a little bit, shall we? There's no comments coming through over there, and there's no... Disco Dead Pigeon. That's an interesting name. Hey, I moved over to Rumble. Does this mean you are going to research stuff now? Well, what do you know? What do you classify as research? Mate, if you're just here to be a troll under the bridge, I'm going to leave you under the bridge. Anyway, let's move along, shall we? So the first thing I wanted to show today was a happy little Christmas ditty.
Hello, my name is Klaus, the Situation Schwab. This Christmas, cuddle up with your loved ones while you enjoy a delicious holiday feast of new ferns and crunchy crickets, and pop in a very special collection of songs. The World Enslavement Forum presents Waxmas It's 23. I'm dreaming of a great reset.